Welcome back to Sahara TV. Once again, my name is Adeola Fayem. We are now at the segment that we like to call Hot Topic. And today, our hot topic is titled Trouble in Nigeria's National Youth Service Corps. A lot of corpers have been protesting being posted to the north. They don't want to go to the north because of everything that has been going on lately, especially with the terrorist attacks. And right now, we're going to be speaking with someone that just completed a National Youth Service course. She was actually trained here in the U.S. It's in person of Chika Moses. Chika Moses was born and raised in Lagos, Lasgidi, Nigeria. She came to the U.S. right before she turned 18 to go to college, and she had her master's degree at CUNY Graduate School of Journalism. She works as a digital journalist and video maker. She's also an editor and the publisher of PilotAfrica.com. Chika lives and works as a video journalist in Lagos, Nigeria, and she had her NYSC at Channels TV. Chika, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so Chika, being that you were trained here in the U.S., you were here for like 8 years, right? Before you moved back to Nigeria.
Yeah, almost.
And you didn't.
Almost 9 years. Yeah.
Almost 9 years, and you didn't go home at all for that time.
I did not once. So by the time I came back, it was a lot of culture shock all at once. Yeah.
Wow. So can you tell us briefly your overall experience of the NYSC?
The overall experience, because I got to serve in Lagos, I think it is a thing. I don't know if it's an unspoken rule that if you're trained outside the country, you kind of get your pick between Lagos and Abuja. So I got to serve in Lagos. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. And overall, I see what the point of it was in the first place, but I see that it has devolved into something much more disorganized and crazy, and just maybe another money-making scheme for the people who run the NYSC. I was in Lagos for the 3-week orientation camp, and that was its own. It was just months, like maybe a couple months after I came back home. That's when I went to the NYSC camp. And that in of itself was just a lesson in how completely disorganized almost every level of our government is, because nothing was done easily. You know, everything was a rush, everything was a struggle, everything was a hustle. And I was glad to be done with the 3 weeks and serve for the year.
Do you feel like you're the only one that feel like this because you were coming from America, so to say, or what about your Nigerian counterparts? Were they also complaining?
I felt it. I think everybody was frustrated with, having to. I was lucky that I went on time to the camp, because if I hadn't, I would have been one of those people who didn't have a room. I sent you guys a photo of me standing in this hallway type room, because they turned hallways into rooms. So when it rained, and it was in June, when it rained, it all flooded in there, and it was completely nuts, the entire situation. But I see what it started off to be, with maybe getting people from different states in the same place. I liked that. I liked meeting people from different states, different parts of Nigeria. But the plan or the organization of it has completely failed. It's complete chaos. Yeah.
Okay. In a moment, I would like you to be more specific in terms of this disorganization. Like, if you can give specific examples.
Well, first of all, people not finding rooms was one example of complete disorganization, or the fact that they will try to make you pay for things that you're not supposed to pay for. Our military people, and I say that with air quotes, that were supposed to be training us when we're supposed to do drills, when each platoon had to do their own drill, if they were doing the drill maybe a little later, or they got a little tired, they would probably ask that you give them a little something. So when I asked outright if they're asking me for a bribe, they were very, no, let's not call it that. Let's just call it you helping us out. And I'm not sure what that means. And this was all happening on camp. There was a lot of that, underhanded thing going on. Getting your forms for anything was complete madness. It was completely crazy. And then there was the politics of getting getting placed where you want to get placed. If you have a placement letter, or if you have a letter of acceptance, a letter of request from a company, that's great. But if you don't and you want to get placed somewhere, there are all the runs that could happen to get you where you want to be.
Wow.
So there is all of that going on that just shows, I don't know, it's not what it probably was meant to be when, say, my uncle served.
So, like, how many people did you have in a room?
Oh, in mine, and that was this hallway converted into a room. They put nets. They put nets over by where there were these gaps, and then a little plywood. And we were maybe about 28 of us, 28 of us. And then toward the end of the time, because some other people who didn't have rooms came to start, like, maybe sharing a bunk with somebody else. Wow. It increased to about 32, 35. And that's, it was not at all enough space for all of us there.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of,
It's complete craziness. But okay. I heard that we in Lagos were kind of in a lap of luxury, so it was worse in other places where, bunk beds weren't even an option. So I guess I can't complain, or I shouldn't complain.
The reason they usually post foreign-trained youth corpers to Lagos and Abuja is because those are the places that are supposed to be better equipped, better, like you're supposed to have better facilities. So if you're talking like this about Lagos, I can just imagine, some other states.
Someone who is in some, I don't know, in Benue state is probably going to be saying their song is probably a lot different than mine is right now, I guess. So they're probably listening to me thinking, well, what is she complaining about? But it's a disorganized system, I think.
So being that you were trained outside Nigeria, do you think that foreign trained youth corpers should be given any special treatment or protection? Do you think?
No, I don't think
do you
special
think
treatment for I really don't. I think maybe everybody should get some sort of protection or some sort of guarantee, especially people who if you didn't go to camp with a letter of request already, people were so afraid when it came towards time of being posted, because what they will do is they would post, say, 20 people to a company that only needs 4 NYSC corpus. So you have to hurry. The moment you get that letter, you can see people rushing out the gate, trying to get to their place of primary assignment on time so that they can be the first people to get there, so that they can get the spot for sure. Because if you don't get the spot that you were posted to, then changing, getting another posting letter for another company that you have to go find yourself is complete madness. I saw people who were stuck with that. So for months after service had started, they hadn't started their jobs anywhere because they were still trying to find another position. So a lot of those things, it needs to change for everybody, not just people who studied abroad or anything. I think it needs to change completely. Or, they call it off. If they can no longer handle it, they call it off.
Chika, while they were waiting to start, do they get paid?
Payments, you go set up your account where you are assigned to the bank that you're assigned to, and then the payments go in directly, and they were pretty good with payments, except for that little bit in April for batch B, where they didn't pay people for a couple months, and that got people pretty upset because a lot of people are relying on that NYSE stipend, and these are people who probably are coming into Lagos from elsewhere. So that money is it. And if they don't see it, people get very antsy. So over at NYSC Secretariat here at a CMS area, they were pissed off there when they didn't get paid. It was not pleasant at all.
How much? How much were you getting paid?
19.8. We were the first batch that got that 19.8. So that's 19,000 naira, 19,800 naira.
So how much in dollars,
I guess
that's
it went up from the 9,800 that they used to pay past corpus. So people were very excited when that was announced. It was big party in camp. And then by the time people got that first stipend, they were very happy to go to the Miami market and blow it all in one night.
That's probably like $160 or something thereabout.
And they're excited about that.
For
Is
a
it
month?
up to $160 for 19,000? I don't know if it's
Okay.
maybe it might be, but
So-
people were very excited about it, and that's what you get for the month, you know. But people were like really hoping that you get placed somewhere that would also give you a stipend. You know, if you're placed somewhere else. But if you're teaching at a school, at a state-owned school, then you're likely going to get maybe $2,000, $3,000 from the school.
Wow.
So, you know, altogether, it's not very much money for the fresh graduates.
Okay, Chika, you know how it is now that a lot of corpers that are posted to the north are refusing to go. What's your take on that?
Yes, they have completely refused, and I think it got. I think the NYSC changed their mind. That's what was in the news lately. That they are calling them back to get new postings. So that's much better, I believe, because who's going to send them? I mean, who's going to go over to a camp in, say, Borno State, where you will likely be a sitting duck, you know, just ready for some really massive attack or something. So I don't know. It was great that they changed their minds on that, because it would have been really unsafe. I believe that.
But you
Absolutely.
had
I don't think that they
some-
have the capacity to protect the NYSC corpus there. You know.
Chika, you had some really good times at the National Youth Service Corps during your 1 year in service. Based on your experience, you don't think that's something great, you know, that is worthy for you to risk your life for? You don't think so?
No. Where are they going to place you in Borno State that will be worth risking your life for? Really? Like, where would they place them? Honestly, no, it's not worth it at all. For you to go serve your 1 year at a local government area and probably get attacked? No, absolutely not worth it.
Okay, but
I don't believe that.
there are
And
some
I doubt they find a corper
advantages.
who would believe that.
There are some advantages to being a corper. You know, you get to mingle with all the cultures and all that. You're saying it's not worth it to...
You can mingle with other cultures anywhere in this country. I mean, I don't know that I've met any, like, I love that you can mingle with other people, and I love that it's all in one place. But honestly, you walk down my street and I can probably meet, you know, a couple different people from right about anywhere, you know, in Nigeria.
That's in Lagos.
I don't believe it's worth it. Especially not when they're going to guarantee you some sort of protection. I don't believe it's worth it, no.
Okay,
No.
so what do you have to say about, some people are saying that the government should just do away with this youth service thing. What do you have to say about that?
Because the thing that I agree with, maybe with the youth service, is that you're given this 1 year, this opportunity where some people are lucky to be placed in, you know, maybe really good companies, and you have this 1 year to probably prove yourself and get to keep the job afterwards. It doesn't happen all the time. I think there's a low percentage of corpers who probably get kept in their positions and actually want to take the position. So I think for that reason, it makes sense. It's almost getting a job opportunity right out of college or university. So for that reason, I can see the point in it. But I think maybe even an internship somewhere would do the same thing. I don't know that it is worth keeping. Or if you do keep it, I think it needs to get changed. I think that some reform is necessary.
Okay, so if the government keeps the NYSC, there needs to be some changes. Can you be more
Some
specific?
changes. Yeah.
What are
yeah.
some of the changes you would
Major-
like to see if you were to send your daughter or your son to do the same thing that you just went through? What are some changes you would like to see?
Let's see, changes I'd like to see. Definitely in the way the orientation camp is run, that should change, you know. And then the way the placement happens, the primary placements, where people are placed to, I think that can do with a bit more organization, so that you know that the companies that you're sending these people to is relevant to what they studied. Because some people were getting sent to some weird, Capital Venture and Sons, private business, and it doesn't have anything to do with what they studied. So it makes no sense then when you're doing that, when you're sending somebody who is, say, a trained computer engineer into like an organization that doesn't have anything to do with what they studied, and it's sort of a waste of a year. I was blessed that I was able to go in there with a letter from a media house, so that was not a complete waste of a year. That was great. But for other people who don't have that, then
all right,
they need to change that so that the year is not wasted. Yeah.
Okay, so my last question is for somebody that studied here in the US or Europe or other places, and they want to go back to Nigeria to do their NYSC. Now that you've been through it, what should they know? What should they be prepared?
Right? I mean, you can't get a job here without it. So if you intend to live here, if you intend to work here, you do need that NYSC certificate. You do need that certificate that says I served, I finished, and la-di-da.
So what should they be prepared for?
It's compulsory if you intend to work here. It's pretty much law.
Can you hear me? I'm saying, how should they prepare for this?
Oh, how to prepare for it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bring the mosquito spray thingy. Just have that on you because the bugs will get you. Let's see how to prepare for it. I don't know that there's any way to mentally prepare for it unless you don't intend to stay in orientation camp and you already have your place of primary assignment worked out, which a lot of people did. A lot of people didn't stay in camp, and I think they would have made some leeway if you really didn't want to. You could probably try to get away with it, if you claim to be sick or something, or pay the right people. But I don't know that there's any way to be ready for orientation camp. It's something, yeah.
All right, Chika, if I don't know anything else from your experience, like things that you learned, I know that you learned Pidgin English, right?
I can try.
So
I can try, but I didn't learn that successfully either.
So you did blow am small, right?
Small.
My sister, you do well. That's about all that I know too. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining us today. We really enjoy talking with you. And good luck in all that you're doing with your website, pilotafrica.com.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. All right, viewers, stay tuned. We have more to come.